a fly ball. Left field is deep. It's way back. The Tigers are going to the World Series. 3-run walk-off home run. Oh, man. Ordonez around third. He's into a mountain at home. The Tigers have beat the A's 6-3, completed a 4-game sweep in one of the greatest turnarounds in baseball history.
So this is a video response to Joe over at Four Soft Corners. Joe, I apologize ahead of time. I don't know if this disqualifies me for showing a photo and a few other items that I have versus a card, but I will be showing a card for another story I have. And who knows, maybe I'll get in trouble for using that radio call on YouTube of Dan Dickerson, one of my favorite radio calls in baseball. I think he does a very good job, even as a baseball fan, but obviously as a Tiger fan. So this was it's a panoramic photo of Meglio Ordonez, also autographed by Meglio, after he hit the home run against the A's in the 2006 American League Championship. And I am kind of recording this in reverse just for the ease of recording. So I'm going to tell a little bit of my 06 playoff run story, I guess, here shortly. And I'll just show a couple other, actually more of a story and one other thing I wanted to show from that season. But I wanted to show this. So yeah, this is a huge moment. I remember sitting in my living room with my wife and my oldest daughter, who was now graduating high school, and next week actually. And my parents were actually in town, and we watched this game in our living room. So this photo has a lot of special meaning to me. Obviously, celebrating the American League Championship and the Tigers going to the World Series, but more of the family and who you spend it with. And I got to spend this night with my wife and my oldest daughter. My youngest daughter was not born yet, and my parents. So I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm going to move back over to my normal area and talk about it a little bit more, and we'll go from there. All right, continuing on. Probably wondering why there's 2 bottles of Tiger beer in the background. I had never heard of Tiger beer until 2006. 2006 really stands out in my mind. I remember watching, the first series against the Yankees, and we went into that series as a wild card. Tigers were supposed to had a chance to win a division that year, and they went in playing the Royals last series of the season. All they had to do was win one game, and they won the series. And in typical Tiger fashion, they got swept. I was not happy, but got a wild card spot, and I ended up playing the Yankees. And I'm thinking, well, there's no way we're going to beat the Yankees. And lo and behold, we did. And when I made the comment earlier about, doing stuff in reverse, I remember being at work and having the game on at TV while doing doing work, actually, believe it or not, at work. But I had the game on TV. It was a night game, and I think we lost that game 8-4. I can't remember off the top of my head without looking it up. But just remember saying, there's no way we're going to beat the Yankees. And we had a vacation coming up, so my wife and I and my oldest daughter ended up going up home, which is about, at the time, 8 hours away. And I remember sitting in the living room of my parents' house in the afternoon. At that point, it was just me and my wife and my mom and my oldest daughter. And that was the game 4 of that series. And Detroit had come back to win 3 straight. And I remember mid-afternoon, I think it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. And my mom and I, she's been a Tiger fan ever since she was a kid. So she cracked a bottle of wine, and we had a celebratory glass of wine. It felt like the Tigers won the World Series that day. But they still had a whole other series yet to go to get to the World Series, which they ultimately lost 4-1. But these are actually from 2007, let me get to the beer first. So when the Tigers went to the World Series, there was a lot of talk on the radio about Tiger beer. I'm like, what in the world is Tiger beer? So I looked it up. Sure enough, it was actually a thing. And if I remember right, I'm not sure if it's this. I actually have one full bottle and one open bottle. I bought a 6-pack. I found this local store in town that had them. I think this is actually made in Korea, if I remember right. I cannot read the label very well anymore. I do not remember it being very good, but apparently Tiger beer was very, very popular in '84 when the Tigers went to the World Series, which was the last time they went to the series prior to 2006. And then, so in '07, the Free Press came out with these cards. I mean, they're oversized, like 5x7s, and they had them, I think they issued them once a week or something like that, or actually might have been like a cutout in the Free Press, and you ship it in and then they mail these cards to you. So I'll just go through these really quick. So not so much a specific card or cards that I'm doing for a celebration for this video response. It's just more of a time in my life, I guess. 2006, 2007 was not the greatest year for the Tigers. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but they're a lot of ups and downs. They didn't do what they were expected to do, and but 2006 was just a great year. The playoffs really stand out in my mind, and memories that I have that can't take your memories away. So I'll finish these up. Brandon Inge. This is one of those sets that one of these things that you have, but you forget you had it. And Craig Monroe, who actually does TV and sometimes radio and does quite well. I do like him in the broadcast booth. Kenny Rogers. Todd Jones, who actually started doing some radio and TV stuff, TV this year for the Tigers. Sean Casey, MLB Network now. So he's got some good stories. This is one of my favorite Tigers that didn't come up through the system. They made a trade. I think we traded Uguth Urbina for him actually, to get him from Philly. Definitely won that trade. Urbina got himself into some trouble. Nice Leland picture. And then the celebration that I showed earlier. Ordonez and Leland after the home run. So yeah, the 06 playoffs really stand out in my mind. And special part of my collecting experience, collecting life, I guess you could say. And one other story I want to show, and this will also be a card and a baseball. I was actually working in Detroit at the time, and I heard in the morning that Ernie Harwell was going to be doing a farewell speech, because it was announced that he had, and I guess maybe I should have prefaced this by, it's not so much a celebration because it was actually a sad moment, but a guy that was just always so happy, had nothing but good things to say, and no matter what was going on, and he had cancer, and he knew he was going to pass away. But he did a farewell speech, and I was at work that day in the city, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to the game tonight. So I called my wife, said, if you don't mind, this is what I want to do. She's like, nope, totally understand. Go. And few years previous, when my second daughter was born, my wife and my daughters got me this Ernie Harwell autographed baseball card. Obviously, it's I think these are called Sweet Spot, made by Upper Deck, numbered to 25, and they actually take a sweet spot of a baseball, and the player signs it. I got a trammel like this as well, but the number to 25, it's in red, so that means that the ink is also in red. They have green and blue and black, I think. I think the green is probably the lowest. I want to say number to 10, but I'm not 100% sure. But they got me this for Father's Day. So another one of those memorable things in my life. And along with that, when I was at that game, I always wanted to get an Ernie Harwell autograph. Obviously, I had the one, but I always wanted a baseball. And so I went to their memorabilia store, and at that game I picked up this Ernie Harwell autographed baseball right after he gave his farewell speech. So again, this video is for Joe over at Four Soft Corners. If I didn't already say it, I believe I did. Please go check out his channel. Super nice guy. Phillies fan, Eagles fan, vintage fan, always collecting. I think he's working on a 76 top set right now. So he's a set collector as well. Yeah, just fun videos to watch and listen to, and how he appreciates cards. And we've done I sent him a bunch of cards back earlier this spring, or I should say winter, and he sent me some back. So super appreciative of those. But yeah, just a great channel to listen to and watch. So that is all I have. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll talk to you later.